Hi everyone, welcome to Tucker Does Yoga. Tucker and I will be doing a really simple yin practice with you today. It's great for right before bed. As you can see, Tucker's already sleepy, getting right into the mood. So we'll start today just on your back, keeping your feet planted to the floor and your knees at 90 degrees. And just make sure that your shoulders are really rooted to the ground and that they're back and away from your ears, so they aren't scrunched up to here, but they're nice. There's a nice space between your shoulders and your chin. Your legs are hip width apart and feet firmly planted on the floor. And just feel yourself breathe here from your belly, ribs, and chest, and from your chest, ribs to belly. Tucker really wants attention today, and he deserves it. So we'll start in a supported bridge posture. So we'll bring a block or two right below the sacrum, and bringing your shoulder blades together, keeping your feet firmly planted. You can just let yourself sink back into this posture. Breathing deeply, letting all the worries melt away. That's what I love about dogs, is that Tucker always reminds me to be in the present moment, because he always is. And he seizes every moment. He's so excited to see me. Even if I've only been gone for like 5 minutes, he gets so excited. And that enthusiasm is really inspiring that we can take into other areas of life. So breathing deeply here, feel what it's like to have your body kind of on an inversion. And on your next exhale, slowly just take out one of the blocks, or if you only have one, just bringing it to a lower level. Taking a breath here, and on your next exhale, bringing the final block out so that your hips go back down onto the mat. Yesterday, Tucker and I took a bit of a tumble, so this is a really nice restorative practice for both of us. On your next inhale, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together so that your knees make a diamond shape for a reverse butterfly. And I like to put blocks between my hips just for a little bit of extra cushion. In a perfect world, my knees would be going all the way down to the floor, but that's not how my body works. So that is not what I'm going to force my body to do. So just breathing deeply, feeling the opening happening in the groin area, and allow all of the worries of the day just to melt away. One thing I love about Tucker is that even when things happen that are stressful, he doesn't not process them. So like today, he got barked at by a dog on our walk, and Tucker doesn't like being barked at. He never barks back because he's such a sweetie pie. But it really stresses him out. So in his afternoon nap today, he barked back at the dog in his nap. He just wanted to show that he could stand up for himself, even in his dreams. So breathing deeply here in butterfly pose. You slowly bring your knees back together and planting the feet back to the floor. We're going to rotate around for legs up the wall. So bringing your hips as close to the wall as possible and putting a block underneath the sacrum, or a bolster or a pillow or whatever you like. Your hips should be higher than your head. That's basically the only rule. So this is a really great, inversions are amazing. They're so good for circulation, for relaxation, for puppy cuddles. It's so good. So you shouldn't do inversions for more than 5 minutes though. So set a timer if you're doing this on your own and make sure that you're honoring your body's limits. And this is it. We just get to sit here and relax and let our body do the work. The greatest thing about yin is the hardest thing. And the thing with yin is that it's all about letting go. It's all about releasing and just surrendering. And it sounds super easy, but it's one of the hardest things to do because that's kind of the opposite of what our society values. Tucker came to work with me today, and he loves coming to work with me. I work as a therapist, and Tucker loves getting to meet new people and be with them, and he's so good at it. He is the friendliest dog, and he's still just a puppy. He's only 2. 2 years old, 110 pounds, full of love. So breathe deeply here. Breathing from your belly, ribs, and chest, and from your chest, ribs to belly. On your next inhale, you can bring your knees into your chest and remove your blocker bolster if you have one, and just rotate from side to side, just giving your lower back a nice massage. I'm gonna give Tucker some nice pets that he deserves, and we're just gonna roll over onto our side and gently push up to transition to a relaxed child's pose. So knees together is a nice relaxed child's pose, and I'm gonna put a block above for my head to rest on so that my neck isn't in strain. And so another great thing about yin is that it's a very supportive, so using props is great. I used to never use props when I did yoga because it was like I was prideful that I didn't have to use props. But it is so much better for your body to have that support in letting go, to know that there's something there. So child's pose is kind of the opposite of inversions. You can hold child's pose for as long as you want. You can do it a jillion times a day. It's so good for you. I recommend just noticing how it is to breathe here with your stomach against your thighs. Some people really like it. Some people really hate it. Just notice what it's like for you to breathe. Notice what it's like for you to pet your dog while you're in child's pose. Notice what their fur feels like. Tucker's is super soft. Tucker's fur used to be even softer when he was a puppy. His ears are like velvet, and his whole body used to be like velvet. So on your next inhale, we'll just rise up back to a tabletop position, and then going onto our belly to move onto our back. So using your strap, you can use anything if you don't have a strap, any sort of strappy type thing. And we're just gonna bring it around the right foot. So your left leg can either be straight or with your knee up. I prefer the knee up because my hips are so tight. So around your right foot, holding the strap with your arms, your shoulders against the mat, and we're just gonna open up our hip by bringing our right foot out to the side. You can rest it on a wall, you can rest it on a block, you can bring it all the way down. I just want a really gentle opening, so this is as far as I'm going. And just breathe really deeply. A lot of times we complicate what yoga should be, especially with Instagram and all of those videos where people get into these like contortions and do gymnastics while they make coffee. And I think yoga should be fun and light and easy. It doesn't need to be this big thing. So that's what I really like about doing yoga with Tucker, is he just gets it. It's not a big deal. If I do 2 postures and some breathing, I did yoga. It doesn't need to be like a 4-hour commitment that I'm making, or like going on top of my head while I'm like drinking my coffee. It does not need to be that complicated. I really like having fun with yoga and laughing and looking at how ridiculous my dog is. He looks like Clifford. So on your next inhale, you can bring your right foot back to the center and slowly release the strap, bringing your knee into your chest for a nice squeeze, and then bringing your right foot to the ground or your right leg down. And then we're gonna do the same thing to our left. We're gonna bring our strap to our left foot, extending it up in the air and just opening to the side for a nice hip opener here. And again, just keeping your shoulders planted to the ground. Tucker's just gonna itch his arm while we do this posture because that's really important. So when Tucker was a puppy, he was the sweetest little thing because he was all paws and fur and that was it. And he gained 10 pounds every single month. It was wild. And now he's at 110. He's been at 110. Tucker and I have worked a lot on body positivity so that he feels good about himself. He has a high self-esteem. It's a work in progress. So on your next exhale, you can bring your left foot back to center. Slowly release the strap and bring your left knee in to be hugged towards your chest. And then plant that foot back onto the ground. So if your feet aren't planted, plant them away. Keeping your feet rooted, we're just going to pick up your hips and bring them 2 inches over to the right, and then bring your knees into your chest, and then just slowly fold them over to the side for a nice spinal twist. Breathing deeply here. Feel your spine release, and allow yourself just to sink into this posture. Tucker loves doing yin. Tucker has really bad anxiety. His mom was feral, so he had a few siblings who they think froze to death, and then he has 2 other siblings that we stay connected to. And so because of that, Tucker has really bad separation anxiety. So up until a few months ago, Tucker would excited pee at everything, absolutely everything. Could not figure out why, but it turns out that all of his siblings struggle with that as well. So we think it's an attachment issue, that because he doesn't have strong attachment, that every time someone left or someone came back, all of his emotional regulation kind of went out the window. And so I actually started doing yoga and meditation because Tucker would have panic attacks in the middle of the night. And it sounds ridiculous, but I'm a therapist and I see actual panic attacks. I've had actual panic attacks, and Tucker was having actual panic attacks. His breathing was shallow. He would like wake up in the middle of the night. He was like restless, getting up and walking everywhere. So I just started doing meditations with him, and it helped immensely. So whenever Tucker wants to do yoga, he'll come into my yoga room and let me know that he's feeling anxious. We're just gonna bring our knees up, bring your hips back to center and your hips a little bit to the left, and bringing your knees up and then sending them over to the right. So Tucker lets me know whenever he's feeling anxious so that we can do yoga or meditation together, because it's something that's been so helpful. It's been amazing to see his temperament completely release since we started doing yoga and meditation together. He loves it. And he still has separation anxiety, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be when he was a puppy. I completely gave up kennel training him because the neighbors thought that he was hurting because he was yelping so bad. And I was like, I was still on the other side of the kennel feeding him treats. I didn't even leave the room. Poor guy. So he gets the run of the house. On your next exhale, we can bring your hips back to the center and just hug both your knees in, rotating from side to side for a nice spinal massage. And we'll bring our legs up to the sky and all the way to the ground for our final resting posture of Shavasana. Just allow your whole body to relax here, sending all your weight to the ground, all of your worries to the ground. Allow yourself just to have a wonderful evening with wonderful sleep, letting go of anything holding you back. Allow yourself to take in some of Tucker's lighthearted energy. And on your next exhale, you can slowly roll over to the side, pushing yourself up. Thanks for joining us for Tucker Does Yoga. Hope you enjoyed our yin practice together.